Okay, and then we're going to take our last section, and just to make sure there's no long pieces there. Of what we're dealing with here all the way across the back. A lot of children have, this type of crown or cowlick area. So we want to make sure when we pick the hair up, we're definitely elevating it away from the crown. We don't want to cut it too close because it's going to stick straight out. So we're going to start out and get our center guide, not cutting past our center knuckle. And we're going to take very small sections and we're going to work to the front. So I'll show you what I mean. We're going to turn our clipper on and snap the blade shut. So I have a very quiet detachable blade clipper, which is perfect for young children. And we're just going to use our clipper over comb technique. And we're going to move the comb very slow as we work our way up to meet our guide at the round of the head. So this eliminates the blending step by putting an attachment and running up the side and then having to blend it to the top. We're doing two things at once. We're going to make a line on the sideburns, turn the clipper around and shave up to it. Now with the little guys, be very careful. Their skin is very sensitive. Barely touch that clipper to their skin when you're cleaning up so we don't wind up with any red marks or irritation. Now on the neck area, on the outline, you want to keep it on a nice diagonal, so very lightly you're going to touch the clipper to the skin and turn the clipper around and shave to it. Okay, and then we're going to give you a 360-degree view of what it should look like. And then I'm going to comb it forward so it's easier to pick up. I'm going to pull the bangs up at 90 degrees. What I don't like to do is comb the bangs straight down and cut across, because then we run into a situation where if we cut it too short, especially with a longer side part, the hair might not be left long enough to comb straight back. So I'm going to pull the hair straight up. I'm going to use the recession right here as my guide. So I'm going to pull it straight back to there. And I'm going to make a center cut. Again, because we want to create some graduation. When I say graduation, I mean we want to create a shorter to longer hairstyle. And make sure you take very small sections. I can't stress that enough. Small sections is what's going to give you a very smooth. So they should never look like they need a haircut and never look like they just had a haircut. Now this is the same holds true for your scissor and comb technique. You're taking very small sections by moving the comb slow, and you're utilizing a traveling guide. Underneath you can see your previous guide here, and you can see your traveling guide underneath. So whether you're picking it up with your fingers or you're picking it up with the comb, the concept. And then we're going to comb the back towards the center, and then we'll let that firm hold gel do its thing and harden up. Okay, so we'll give you a 360 view now on a longer version of the classic side part. Because I don't want the bang length too short, as it won't comb to the side. So I'll use that first cut as my guide, and I can see it in my comb. I'm using a white comb on dark brown hair, so I can see the hair. And then I'm just going to keep moving straight across with the comb until I run out of hair, leaving it parallel to the floor. I'm not going to round down, because then we're going to start rounding the corners. So we keep that comb moving, and then as we get towards the crown, I want to make sure that my comb is parallel to the floor so that hair in the crown area is longer, so it doesn't stand up. So by removing all that heaviness with the previous step, it makes this step a lot easier. So we're going to take this 3/8 of an inch blade all the way around, and then we're going to follow it with a 1/4 of an inch blade to cut it a little bit shorter around the edges. So it's very important that you move the clipper slow through the hair, let it cut, move in a few different directions. Okay, in the other corner, take the clipper and turn it upside down again. And then we'll work on our blend. We're going to get that part right in there and straighten out that wave he's got. Part it off. Make sure our parting is even. Okay, and we'll give you a 360 view of what it should look like. So we're going to start in front. The bangs are short enough where they are, so I'm just going to use the bangs as my guide. I'm going to pull the hair up in the center, straight up at 90 degrees. I'm going to use my scissor over finger technique, not cutting past my center knuckle. I'm going to take very small sections. The smaller the sections, the more accurate your work is going to be. Let's begin and I'll show you what I mean. So we get to the temple area and very slowly we start scooping away and let that clipper work. Let it cut as we pull away from the head. So I know a lot of people tend to be concerned with speed. The slower you work, your hands go, the faster you're going to be done with it. So we go from cutting to cutting and blending to just blending. So we're cutting and blending, and now we're just blending. Using that as my guide. You might have to wiggle it back and forth just a little bit to get your line. Let the clipper work. On the sides, you want to really push that hair down, get it in there good. And I want that real classic side part. So we're going to use a rubber brush with the teeth really close together. And we're just going to brush that right to the side. Brush that paste right in there. And as we come around to the other side, we want to make sure we pull that down right where the part is. Very distinct. Close the scissor. I'm going to pull my fingers up, close it again, and pull my fingers up again and close it a few more times and take length. So I'll show you again. Halfway down, 1/4 of the way down, and then just at the very end to remove the length. So what this is going to do is I'm cutting very little length, but I'm texturizing and taking the thickness out of the hair. The blend is the most difficult part of the haircut that people struggle with, so if I can take that part out of the haircut, it's going to be much easier. So now here in front, I just want to blend those bangs in to our taper. So there we go. And we're going to get as much as we can with the large comb, and then we'll be going back with our smaller tools afterwards. So we're going to follow the contour of the head shape. So we're going to taper it out all the way across, and then we'll go in with the open blade and finish it up. So we'll leave the clipper in the open position and start to scoop out that tail. And then in the corner we can pull it straight down. View on how it looks with the tapered sides. And tapered back, and tapered the tail right out of there.